So I was excited to get the milk caps, the metal badge, and then you have to spend a minimum of $5 because they don't want to mess with making $2.
That
So
Santa one would be a good gift. Because I don't know if I told you, like Rennie's husband Dave, he collects Santa stuff. So
I just wasn't gonna come off $20.
No,
for
but
one.
I mean, like for a gift.
Yes.
For like a collector.
Yeah.
Like
So
that would be good.
every week I spend about $10 on junk like that. But right now a bunch of people are getting rid of vintage postcards. So I got a package last week that has vintage postcards, and what they're even doing, oh my goodness, is they'll take an old deck of like you know the flashcards where it's like 2 + 2 and it'll be a blanket on the back, it says 4. They take that and they split it up, and you get you get like 3 of those with this random book and this thing. I don't really get into that because I want the whole set of cards if I want the cards. But I missed out big time. They had some vintage airplane stuff, and they were going for like $5 a book or whatever. But ephemera, is that how you say that word? I like paper. That's what that means. And so I get really excited.
Paperaholic.
I need to. Sometimes I unfollow the hashtags because there's really some stuff on there I want.
Did you see? Because you did not respond.
Uh-oh.
And I can't believe you didn't respond because I asked you about it. Those glass water things. I sent you pictures.
Glass water thing?
My gosh.
You texted
Look back.
them to me?
Yeah. I sent you screenshots of a website I found about glass water bottles. And I told you if I could carry a glass orb around in a organic cotton carry case,
see that
I'd be likely to drink more water.
I didn't see any of this.
Okay.
You know, I told you my
You
text.
have to keep going higher. I think that's.
That's why I was like, part 5
It's
what?
when you're. Oh, okay.
I didn't get this.
Okay, that makes sense.
I got this. It sent my text in weird.
It was before that.
Okay.
It was.
I
like,
got
it was
these.
before that.
No.
Yeah. I'm like, how did you not just think that that's amazing?
No.
But look at the glass orbs. I think I sent you the website link. I may or may not have. I was just telling you.
I got none of this.
Okay.
The first thing I saw was your cooking
stuff. Look at the
stuff.
round ones. Those come. It's like got a carry case. Like some of them are the quart size, and some of them are pint size.
Okay.
So forget water bottles. If I'm hiking, I want my
sphere of your orb of water.
Yeah.
Look how
Here's
beautiful
what I was disappointed though. Someone made a website. I'm not disappointed about that, but there was a website for tracking natural spring water for where you can go get your own natural spring water, like all over the United States. And if you know one, they want you to add it to that. I did not add the one in Rush Springs. I don't know if it was on there, but they had a link to if you buy those, it goes to supporting the well of your choice. But I don't know how they would filter that money to that. So I thought it was a little gimmicky.
Oh, we could ask them.
Yeah, I guess we could. But I'll have to find, that was a link. That website was a link from the other website. So I had to find that other website and then backtrack it.
Let me see if we can if this picture will get big enough, because you have stepped into the middle of the Andrea and Stacy show.
I'm Andrea.
I'm Stacy.
And
we're talking
stick with it.
Water. We have a natural spring in a town not far from here that is fantastic water.
Yeah.
And it almost even has a blue. I noticed in the gallon. Turner's like, that looks blue. What's in there? And I was like, oh, it does look blue. And it's just a regular jug of water, so it shouldn't have been blue.
Yeah.
And then we have a little airport here in town, and there's water out there, which is supposed to be natural. But look at this 1 gallon
They're just
globe.
like tapped springs.
Isn't that pretty?
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So go to alivewaters.com to see all of those. And they're glass, so you can sanitize them. And I was going to see.
And I was reading, because I thought, if I start using the spring water,
Look how cool that setup is. these two pieces together are like $110, and then that would be another $40.
Which I thought was a cheap price, seeing how that crock that holds the plastic ones, just for that crock I paid $60.
Yes.
I mean, come on, and I could have had, all I need is what, a baker's rack?
Yeah, the metal shelf is $69, so why not buy if that's what it's made for?
No, let me tell you. When I went to collect this water,
yes,
I put my foot in the wrong spot, and I slipped and fell, landed on this hip. It is so sore right here. It's like bruised, and like my shoulder and my wrist, and the jug I was holding like went flying. That's amazing.
It went flying?
Yeah. So I can't see me hauling a glass one down there, but Dean could do it. Like, I would have to find a better way. Like,
well, they make things you can strap it to your body, or just get you a donkey and have him
I can
trail behind your car out there.
I notice a lot of people, when they're filling their big containers, they just had, because they put that pipe back on with all the sprouts, they had the little jugs, and then they were just filling those, and they were pouring it into their, like, letting one fill, and then pour,
yeah,
like,
they had a system.
Because even the big ones are only 5 gallons, so you'd only have to do that 5 times to get that, and it fills so quick. Like, each one fills up so quick, so it takes no time at all. That spring has to it, like, pressure.
Yes, pressure.
Yeah, it says it does like so many thousand gallons of water a day.
Holy smokes.
And it's been doing it since like the 1700s. That's not right. The 1870s. That's what it was. Well, I'm sure it's probably been doing it since the 1700s.
Yeah, but since the first person recorded it or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think of my shirt?
I love it. I saw that when you
Christopher Banks.
I love it.
$4.90. Thank you very much. I got a cardigan. It was a little more expensive. Awesome. It was $6.90. And then I got 2 sweaters, and I got one that's white. I will rent it the first time I wear it, but it's the old, like the 80s. It's white, but it has that collar knitted into it. And I think it's like turquoises and yellows and pinks, but it was $4.90. Yeah. And then I got a regular type, just a sweater. But yeah, I was super excited about those because
really awesome.
I don't have any
that
sweaters.
Store. You told me about them.
Yeah, and they have my size all the way down to size 0 or whatever.
Yeah, and they're a real good like for Alice and the petites, because they have a lot of petites.
Yes, and
their stuff is quality. Now I know it's not like Allison level fashion trendy, but when you get quality pieces, then you can put anything with them.
Right. This you could wear in the fall too. You don't have,
Absolutely.
Yeah. It probably
I'm seeing that with some leggings and some stuff.
Yeah, or with I have capris and it looks
There's
cute with
a name for that plaid print, and I can't think of it. It's not, the buffalo plaid is the red, white, black.
Yes.
There's a name for that too, and we're gonna have to figure that out.
We'll have to figure it out.
I saw it's real trendy, and they have a very special name for it, and I can't.
So last week we did a podcast.
I'm gonna look.
We were in a podcast. Last week was exciting.
We were betrayed
because it was Andrea's birthday was that weekend, so we did happy birthday.
We did it on that was July 5th. We did it on my birthday.
Oh, that's right. I came over on Sunday.
So they didn't get to see the thing.
Oh, I made her something, and I got you the box story. We didn't. Okay, what happened was
I'll go get it.
So. It was a pretty funny little podcast. It was our birthday. We were excited, and the electricity went out, and we decided we were just going to end the podcast there, obviously, because the power's out for 2 hours, something like that. So we just sat outside and watched the electrical storm roll through, because there wasn't any rain in that part of the storm. And then Andrea came back the next day to download the whatever this is called,
the video, so we could post it.
And it didn't save it because it was
nowhere.
Yeah,
it was nowhere. But this lovely box is what my gift was presented in, and this box has been with us for some time now. It is straight mail order china.
Yes.
It originally came with a plastic moon I'm going to call it a figurine. We don't know what they used it for. But
it had a little wood stand, and you could turn it on, and it
changes
glows.
colors.
Yeah, and it is it's like almost 3D printed. It has all the divots in it
it's
and
not
everything.
just like a round ball. It's supposed to actually
it's
look
really
like
cool.
But the gift wrapping option that they had from China, they sent it in a box that says "Love." I love you, and it's like I heart you. I double love you, and then the tag says I love you, and then something in fine print. I love you from the bottom of my heart.
So that's the first time the box was used. Is she bought me the moon for my birthday, and so we just have saved this box and keep passing it back and forth. Not just for birthdays, just
anytime,
whatever.
Anytime. But this is what we gotta tell them. It's still there.
Okay.
The 4-leaf clover story again too.
Yep.
Okay. So this little trinket, porcelain. I'm sure it's porcelain.
Made in Japan.
Yeah, it's porcelain because that sound is not ceramic. That's too dainty. Now it's probably gold leaf around it too.
Oh, I think so.
But,
yeah.
It's got 4-leaf clover. It has 3-leaf clovers on it. Clovers, but there's like something. It's special happening with not every plant out there, but some plants. Actually, I think I've narrowed it down to the ones that extract nitrogen from the environment. So we must have a lot of nitrogen for some reason because it's hyper feeding these plants like clover, and
tomatoes.
They're getting huge. Yeah, okra.
That's why they're doing so good. And we can talk about that.
4-leaf or clovers, the red clover and white clover that is common around our area and actually much of the United States. It's normally like if you see a big one, it's the size of my thumbnail, right? Clover shaped, and they get about approximately that big. They can be smaller, they can be a little larger. I mean, a lot of variables, but people have been picking them as big as my face.
Yes.
They're getting that big. The plants are just like growing ginormous, which is fascinating. And it's not, they'll show a picture of the little clump of clover, and it won't be every one.
No.
That clump of clover will be a little bit larger than those around it, but then the odd clover leaf in there will be just like monstrous in size. 4-leaf clovers, they're not uncommon, but they are rare. So, the history says you find one, it's good luck. But a lot of people have been finding them. Not only 4-leaf ones, but they're finding 5-leaf, 6-leaf. One lady found a 7-leaf clover. It's how many little leaves are on the end of one stem. So that's just another 2020 anomaly that's been happening.
And like everything else that we talk about and research, it starts to show up in your life.
Yeah.
And so I went and saw this little clover box and thought, well, that's what.
So now I'm going to go find a 4-leaf clover, and I'm going to
dry it and put it in there.
Put it in there, yeah.
Somewhere I have a book full of clover. Like, every time I found one, I'd put it in the book.
I will do the clover, and I will put a little bit of clover seed in there.
Oh, that would be nice.
And store that in there. And then
I looked for a 4-leaf clover before I gave it to you, but I didn't. It was like a panic look. Oh, I should look. And then I made a bee quilt.
Yes, it's downstairs.
That's okay. We don't need to get it.
I'll bring it on the next one. On the next one.
A collage. So she didn't just get the tiny clover box, but
I got a fascinating fabric collage with very intricate cutting and detailed work, and it's fabulous. I don't know how we got sidetracked by that, but we didn't really have an agenda, and I don't know what we were talking about before, but my mind just went blank.
We were talking about water and everything. Water. It's just flowing like the spring in Rush Springs. Yeah.
There was something I was going to mention, though. Well, another thing about clover is because when she's right, when you think of something, everything comes your way. Well, before Bermuda grass became the predominant landscaping grass for cultivated lawns, this isn't like suburbia. This is like when people originally tried to cultivate lawns out of the wilderness because they had time and money, to spend on their lawns. It wasn't like the old country, like they came from England or Ireland where that was easy to do. It proved tough over here. So there were very few plants that you could cultivate in sun and shade and a variety of soil conditions. But one thing a lot of the original landscapers knew was that clover was almost a perennial year-round plant in the south, and in the north, you know, it was real easy to seed and maintain, and it didn't have to be mowed unless you wanted to mow it. And then it mixed well with other grasses, and it pulls nitrogen out of the air, which fed grasses. And so people would just have clover lawns. And Scott's one of the, you know, popular like grass seed companies. They do the fescues and Bermudas and all those other Kentucky Blues or whatever people use, the big bags of lawn seed. They have clover lawn seed still. And even if you don't want just clover as a lawn, you can mix it with your newly seeded or newly sodded other lawn, and because it extracts nitrogen from the air and puts it into the soil, which is what Bermudas and fescues thrive on, it can help you establish.
They're beneficial and they're beautiful, and they only grow to be so tall.
Yeah, they only get.
Yeah, so and they only bloom one time a year, right? Or is it twice?
I know they bloom, but I don't know how often they do it.
I want to say it's once in spring, but maybe, I could be wrong. And they'll self-seed from that. Yeah. So they're not destructive, but I have a patch in my yard that I make Jeff mow around because the bees and the butterflies and things like them so well. Yeah. So.
And you know the old song Crimson Clover over and over?
Yes.
Well, the crimson clover is really a thing. We have the white and red clover here, but crimson clover, those flowers get that. It's pretty.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think they would seed well around here, but it's pretty. Be nice if it did.
So I have to tell you a cat story. We have a cat. I'm pretty sure it's a female, but we've named her Steve. And
I like that.
She is one of the smartest cats I've ever personally been around. She is, and she remembers things. So she plays with Olive. Olive tolerates it okay. Not first thing in the morning, but through the day. Olive's back's the exact same height as the couch. So if she's on the couch, she'll jump on Olive's back or slap her tail or whatever. Well, Olive kind of got sideways with her the other day because she was trying to take a nap and Steve kept slapping her in the face. So she barked at her, if that's what you want to call the noise she made. It was like a please just leave me alone cry. And about 20 minutes later, she went over and pooped on Olive's bed. Well, this all happens kind of simultaneously. This happens, and I tell Steve to leave Olive alone, tell Olive not to talk to Steve that way. And then she poops. Jeff walks in with a dustpan and broom because he's going to sweep the floor. He can smell it. I'm getting up so I can take care of it. And he's like, where'd the cat poop? Because they always poop in their little box. Mama trained them that way. And they don't poop anywhere else. Well, so Jeff's mad at the cat. Olive thinks she's in trouble. Steve doesn't care because we're all there to serve her. And so Jeff's hunting the cat. Jeff gets the cat, takes it to the poop, and is like, no, you don't do that. So he goes to get stuff to clean the poop up, and then we have to put Olive's bed outside because I have to pull the pillow out and all that. I don't want that hair and stuff all in the house. So it goes on the porch. In the meantime, the cat's doing whatever the cat's doing. Jeff goes back after everything's kind of put back in order and goes to pick up the dustpan, and she peed in the dustpan. So I told him he needs to be careful because she'll start peeing in his shoes or something because she's that way.
Some cats retaliate.
Yes. So I was sewing. A couple things she does when I sew. She lays on the floor, and right when I go to hunt she'll come running in there to do this to me. When she hears the table move that I'm going to sit at, and she will push the pedal out of the way and then slap my foot while I'm trying to feel around for it. And then, so I have to like keep my foot on it all the time. And then this is not just the regular plain with the fabric that's hanging or, whatever. I keep this little, I think it looks like a, kind of like a wine glass, but I think it's a votive holder. Mm-hmm. It's lead crystal. It's a one-off I've picked up somewhere in life. We use it for anything, but it's not a glass. It's got to be a old,
thick.
Yeah, like it's thick. Crystal. And it's scalloped at the top and has a little pedestal. So I use it for these pins that I don't like them, but I still might need them. So they keep separate from my glass head pins. And they're kept in that thing. Well, she was sticking her paw in there, and I said, you can do what you want, but that might poke you. It might hurt. So she's being real ginger, checking it out, and then she'd lay down and look through the glass, it's clear glass, at it, and then she jumps up and scoops them all out, and they go all over the table. So I pick them up, and I thought, well, I wonder if it poked her or if, she pulled it out. So I picked them all and put them back in there, and she watches me pick each pin up, pats my hand, and I put them in there. And then she sticks her hand in there again and throws them out. And I thought, okay. So I picked them all up, put them in there again, and I took both my hands and just picked it up real weird. And I said, you need to leave these alone. And I slid them over, and my cutting mat was there, and I butted it up against cut mat so she wouldn't slap it off the table, which is another fun thing that her mama liked to do. And so, because of them, I have to, keep my scissors put up and my blade closed on my rotary thing, because they go around slapping stuff, and they could lose a little. Yeah. I mean, those things are sharp. Yeah. So, he lays down and stares at it, and at this point, it's a game for me, to see what she's going to do. She cups the bottom of the cup and then lays back down. And then her other hand, she keeps picking up and putting down, like she has the Holy Ghost or something. And then she walks up next to it and sits down, stares in it, looks at me, picks the cup up like I just did, and turned it over. I kid you not. Yeah. So I got all that picked up. I called Allison and I said, watch this. So I showed her how to do it again, did it again. The problem is with this cat, that's not just a neat trick. She builds on things she learns. Yeah. So whatever we teach her, we have to be very careful with, because now I know for a fact any glass we use, like if we were to use a wine glass or something, she would try to pick it up. She's so smart.
And I mean, they're a lot more, capable with their paws and picking than you realize. So yeah, she'll be a thrower.
She's cool.
That's what she'll be. She'll be a thrower.
Yeah. In fact, yeah. And if I was sorting all my fabric scraps, so I had little folded piles, and I got home yesterday and she was upside down asleep in it. So she's the one that likes that environment. Mama will come up there when she wants me to mess with her, but Forgotten, that cat.
Special.
We'll have to always take care of that cat.
That's how I feel about Butters. It's fine though, because I feel like each cat that finds its own home with its person has the personality that's needed for that.
Yes, I agree.
Me and Kitty get along great. Me and Memphis and I had no problems. Yeah. Butters, I'll discover one day what his role is.
Well, Forgotten, I don't know if I've talked about it on here before, but we had Janky, which we gave away.
Which is a little calico.
Yes, and the reason is because even though he was born first, he was the last one to open one of his eyes, and so he is janky. He looks janky because of his calico is so weird, but he went right away. Steve is beautiful. Yeah, one of the prettier cats really pretty cat. I've seen. And then there's Forgotten.
Forgotten's cute too.
Yeah, in his own half lizard, half cat face look. But Forgotten got named Forgotten because he was born an entire day later. So I think he has some mental problems for, I don't know if it's lack of oxygen or what, but he's delayed but he catches up. He's just like a full week. When they were little, that was a big amount of time. A full week behind the other kittens. Well, to explain him, he's very long-legged and skinny, and his hair's short. So bless his heart, there's no covering up his body shape. And his back legs are a little bit longer than his front legs. I don't know if that's normal, but it looks abnormal on him. And his front legs are bow-legged, and his back legs are knock-kneed.
Yeah, he's probably got some skeletal issues.
Big time. He gets around fine. He just looks freaky.
You know,
when he walks.
Dwarfism that happens in humans, it can happen in cats too.
And that's the other thing. He's half the size of the other cat. And it looks like he went and had a bad facelift.
He might have dwarfism.
Because he's like this.
Yeah, I bet he does have
I bet dwarfism. He does too. So he's our baby, and we'll never get rid of him.
But he's litter box trained. Yeah. So
he's not retarded. Yeah. He's just, if you can say that, he's not mentally. Yeah. He's just delayed. Yeah.
He probably just has some physical limitations.
Yeah. Well, it hasn't stopped him from climbing the curtains or, that kind of thing.
Butters, I always wondered if he was just going to stay so scrawny,
Yeah.
He's finally, I looked at him the other day and I thought, he kind of looks a little different. I think his neck's getting thicker.
Oh,
and so I'm wondering if he's finally like
beefing up
something. That's probably it. But like, that was it. Like,
yeah,
that's the whole growing he'll do. But I thought, well, there may be some hope there. So guess what's back in my yard?
What?
A possum.
Oh.
So I get to hear about it.
I thought you were going to say iguana.
I'll just burn the backyard down. No, the possum's back. So apparently it comes out of one certain spot, and all the animals know because they stare at night. They're in the bedroom and the lights are off, and they're all in there, like either by the window or on the bed in, Kimber's room, looking in the backyard, and it's like they wait. And then when it has come out or come over the fence or whatever it is that it does, because Clementine sounds the alarm and then out she goes. Herb does not go outside. He stays vigilant at the doors and windows barking, and then the cats like either run upstairs or hide. So they've probably had a run-in or two.
Sounds
with
like it.
The possum. Yeah.
We'll call your possum Dapper. He makes an entrance. He's announced.
Yeah. And then I have to give Clementine her moment to feel superior. She trees it. And then when she's satisfied that we all know that she's treed it, I can get her to come in, and then I half shut the door so she can't go out the doggy door, but the cats can still go in and out. And the possum can still come in and eat too. Which is probably what it does. Something eats all the cat food at night, and it's not the cats.
It's got to be that possum.
Yeah. If I wasn't so dang lazy, I'd get up and let my dogs out at night, but I just like to go to sleep and let them go in and out. So, love wildlife around here. Oh, man. It was a good day.
It was a good day. It was busy again, but it was good.
Mm-hmm. You know what? This morning, migraine.
Oh.
Like, I had a severe migraine. So once I realized what it was, and I know that sounds dumb, like it takes a while to dawn on me that it's not sinus pressure or I slept weird, that it's that exact same thing. I've been taking the Excedrin migraine, and it seems to take the edge off enough that I can function. Well, so I realized that's what it was, and I was like, I'm going to go outside and lay down on the deck, because if I laid down on that warm wood, it would relax me.
Tension. Yeah.
I went out there, and this morning was kind of cool, considering how hot it's been getting, and but the wood felt so good on my back. The wind chimes were blowing just enough to make that pleasant sound. I could hear birds, like a variety of birds. The water was going, and even that wasn't like getting on my nerves like it does sometimes. I laid out there an hour and a half, and Dean even laid out there a little bit, just enjoying it. But yeah, and then when I got up, I can't say my headache was gone, but I felt so much more relaxed that it was entirely manageable. It was a very nice day.
I do, I was off for 2 months and I would go out and lay in the yard. I do miss that because it's so hot at 5 o'clock now. Of course, it was a different season then too, but I've been going out after dark, and that's nice, but mosquitoes are so bad that I don't want to have to put off on at 10:30, 11 o'clock, midnight, just to go lay in the grass. And then so I've been gypping myself because I have to take a shower after I put off on. I can't stand that, and I always forget, and I touch my eyes, and
then it burns and you're blind.
It's ridiculous.
Good stuff. It was nice though. It was a good one.
I can't believe it's the middle of July already. It literally went like, for me, March, I can mark in time because Jeff came home in the middle of March. Yeah, middle of March. And then now it's July. It's like nothing happened in between there.
Life just really got put on pause in some weird way. Yeast is missing from all the stores again. I found 2 containers of the instant yeast at, in the screw lid jars at Homeland. So I got 2 of those, but
I should probably call them and ask them to put me one back because Allison's been baking stuff like crazy. I'm sure I'm almost out.
Well, I got 2, so take one of those that I got downstairs because it expires in 2022, so it'll go bad before you use it.
I have the packet, but I like the jars so I can, get what I want out.
But seriously, it'll just sit there for 4 to 8 years. So I get the urge, and then I realize my bread's not rising, and then I'm like, oh.
Yeah, when that happens to me, it's like the first life. I'm like, oh, I must have killed the yeast. So I'll go ahead and cook it because if it's dense, that doesn't bother me if it's good. And then like a couple days later, because when I make bread, apparently I make it for like 2 months straight, and then I don't make it the rest of the year. So then I'll make the second loaf, and I'll be like, oh, yeast must be bad. Cause
apparently I cook with geriatric yeast that killed off of natural causes.
Oh, goodness. I got Allison a not official Harry Potter cookbook, like the recipes from Harry Potter.
Oh, how fun.
So there's no telling what we'll be trying.
Double toil and trouble?
Hopefully. She's really excited about some onion soup, but there's a special name for it. She's like, I've been wanting to make onion soup, and I thought, who are you?
I know the best onion soup I ever had. There was a French bistro in Durango, Colorado. You know how we drove to Texas for cheese?
Yeah.
Sometimes I get the urge. I would drive there for their onion soup.
We can do that on the way to the Vortex.
Okay.
I'm serious about that.
Okay. Well, I'm game. I've got days off. Yeah. You'll just have to wrangle it.
Yeah. I can't go in July because of Shop Hop. And then I know they're going on a sewing retreat in August for, I don't know if it's a full week or a 4-day weekend, but
yeah. I was actually thinking, because it's a solid 2-day drive.
Yeah. To the Vortex. So we could drive to Colorado, right?
Well, we could drive to Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Drive up through Durango, like pass on the way, and then that's a lot of high elevation. But if we do that, we could see the I don't know if you've been to that, I'm going to say it wrong, those Nez Perce dwellings, those...
Oh, not since I was a little kid, but yeah, I'd love to see those as an adult.
And then, because that's right, like you go this way to those or that way to Durango, it's right there off that interstate.
And then
highway.
That Vortex is in Washington?
It's in Billings, Montana.
Montana.
So then, like, you could go over through Salt Lake, I think, was the fastest way.
Have you seen the Salt Lake before?
I don't think I've been to Utah ever in my life.
skip the cathedral. And when I remember, because we lived in Wyoming, so we would go to Salt Lake City. I think we went twice just to have something to do. And I remember it was like these huge conveyor belts that looked like they just pointed to the heavens. And then the salt would, they were just doing piles of salt. It would just rotate and start another pile. It was overwhelming. Like, as a kid, seeing all those, thinking, is this where the world's salt comes from?
Yeah,
like,
probably it does.
How big was the lightning strike?
But I think what I would do is rent a car.
Oh, yeah.
And drive one way, and then just catch a quick flight home.
Okay.
Because it would probably,
yeah.
by the time the eating and the gas and the drive, it would probably be just as quick.
Yeah. I'm down with whatever.
Yeah. It would be neat.
And we need to make sure, the main thing is to make sure the onion soup place and the vortex place is open, because those are the only things that are on the agenda.
Yeah, it is. Onion soup.
Okay, let's make that happen.
I'm good.
Okay. That's exciting.
Yeah, I've actually, I just want to go when bears are out. All my life, I go to places that everyone's like, look out for the bears. And I look for the bears, and I look out for the bears, and I never see the bears. And then inevitably I come home, and then someone we know has just been in that area, and then they have pictures of bears. What is that about?
My luck, I'll find the Sasquatchies.
True. I think they would hide from me.
I think they would too.
Most wildlife does. Domesticated animals love me. Other animals see me and they're like, well, we'll just step over here.
Well, you have anything else to talk about?
No. I think I'm good. I think I enjoyed that. And I want to stop it before the lights go out and then we lose it all. So
I know.
Is there a way to like save videos as you make them so you don't lose it all?
We'll have to look into that. I really don't know.
That. Okay, guys.
See you guys later.
See you next time.
I don't think it's